for the decade I've been here.
All
So I know how to turn it on. And then the old one, it sometimes would work for the steam injection.
What brand of?
Check out. Couldn't tell.
Good day. All right.
It's definitely not a Vulcan. You know that for sure.
Because through the course of my experience, I've worked with probably every brand of Combi out there. So
Is there one called like Combi I or I something? It's a little lowercase one, and then
there's that R company has one that is like something.
yeah, because that was in the old lunchroom that we were in for 3 months, and that's the one that would sometimes do water, the steam injection. But the other one in the old one.
Y'all have to get closer. You may have to get closer so that they can get closer. So, because you'll need to see this part over here. So essentially, it'll tell you goodbye. That's on. So, Combi is obviously steam and convection, or steam and convection both. What the ABC does for you is it anticipates what you're going to do. So if I turn it on and I set it for 100 degrees, it's going to be, you're in there poaching, you're not really cooking.
We were able to use the one in the old lunchroom as a proofer. It went low enough for that.
And this will go, so if I'm going to proof, I'm going to probably do it 95, 100 degrees. And 80% humidity will keep it from raining too much on your product. You can change this humidity. If it's too wet, you can adjust that. And it'll tell you the door's open. If you go up, so if I'm at 200 degrees or thereabouts, then you're in 100% humidity because that's normal steaming temperatures. Now, you have a very nice steamer over there. The only downfall of that steamer is it operates at 212 degrees. So you set time on it and you're just going at 212, 212, 212, 212. And it's perfect for that. So I would rarely use this one at 212 because you have the advantage of, I want to poach something at 190 degrees because I don't boil chicken, I poach chicken. I don't boil shrimp, I poach shrimp. You know, those kind of things. If you get into molecular gastronomy, you'll also find out that things like asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, a lot of the more delicate vegetables do much better at 170 degrees, 175 than at 212. So if you want to blanch broccoli to keep it bright green, drop the temperature back and no heat. It's not up to temperature yet. But drop it back and that'll allow you to then hit it with some steam, set the color without turning it olive drab. If you're under 212 and you never boil the juices within the vegetable, they don't get all that soft and mushy, and you know, peas don't explode, hot dogs, sausages, all of those kind of things, because you never hit the boiling point. You won't end up with that. So if it is over here on straight, it's a continuous run, and then obviously you just set the timer for whatever, and you can push and start the whole thing running. And same thing here. So 220, if you're an old guy like me who remembers the old submarine doors, steamers, pressure steamers, used to run about 230 degrees. So if you've got carrots or turnips or things that you just want to get it done, then you can kick it on to a higher temperature. As you go up, it'll start dropping your humidity, because at 350 it assumes that you want to just run it like a Combi, like a convection oven, with the added advantage of steam. So in here, I can turn it up if I want to run it at 100% humidity, it'll run at 100% humidity at 350 degrees. Now, always remember, you can't see steam at 215, 220 degrees. So, especially for the students, open it from behind the door so that you don't get a blast of steam in your face. And because if you look in, it'll look like it's no steam, but you'll get hit with it. I'm not sure if we've got gas off or what, but we're not getting heat because it keeps telling me it's not there. So that's basically it. If you get into the nuts and bolts of it, and it doesn't feel like there's any at all.
I'm not sure they have the gas hooked up yet.
They
They're
may
still
not.
working on suppression.
Do you know if the gas is on?
Yeah, yes. Well, did you look back there to see the knobs turned?
I do not. Oh, if it's that yellow one.
Yeah,
right
it is
there.
not on. No.
It is not on. That's why it says
And I can't.
no heat.
They better
So,
get it this way.
anyway, it's all right. We can go through it all anyway. So that steamer has a steam generator, which is like an external non-pressurized boiler that pushes steam into the oven cavity. This is what's termed flash steam generation. So this little pipe runs a drip of water into the fan, which atomizes it, and then the heat of the oven cavity causes it to turn to steam, or gives you that added moisture. So it's sensing the moisture level, and it's doing that to give you the moisture in here. So it's flash steam generated, which means functionally you probably want to let this warm up with steam. So, you know, the thing you're really going to watch is if I'm over here baking something at 350 and I want to turn this down to 212 or 215 or 200 and steam something, if I just open the door from baking, unload it, and load it back, it's going to be too hot. So it's not really going to develop much steam because it's already looking at, I'm at 350 degrees. I'm not gonna do much of anything. So in that case, you'd want to open the door, let it cool off for a minute, and then go back and steam.
It doesn't have a cool setting.
There is not a cool down. Let the fan run while the door's open.
Does it say, like the
Too
only
hot?
one that actually worked? It would tell me like,
Too hot?
no, it would give a really loud buzz when it.
It gives you a buzz when it's.
Regardless if I was going up in temp or down in temp.
So the best thing is just to open the door and
Just let it cool down. I love this one for teaching because it kind of forces you into making the decisions rather than things being automated behind the scenes. So that's that. As far as cleaning goes, you can spray it out. You have this nice little thing. I would generally maybe hit it with a little vinegar, just to like descale it. The great thing about flash steam generation is scale is going to build up in the oven cavity. It's not going to be hidden. If you spray it down with a little just plain white vinegar at the end of every day and then steam it up and rinse it out, that'll help cut the grease and it'll cut the scale and it'll just all drain out the bottom.
so just depends on how much you use it.
Yeah, and what you're using it for. If you really get something that's, okay, I'm doing meatloaf and I've got grease blowing all over and I got tomato sauce and all of that, yeah, you're probably going to use a stainless steel safety greaser. Give it about 15-20 minutes on something in the 160, 175, 80 degree range. That's going to be a nice wet steam, and then spray it out. Never use anything that's going to scratch or, you know, any of that. That you're probably going to be told that about 1,000,000 times with every piece of stainless in the building. But if you look to the dishwasher, it even heat sanitizes at like 180 because you don't want to cook stuff into it. So if you're going to steam this up to clean it out, and steam's a great cleaner, do it around 180, and then, you know, you can bump it up to 100% humidity and let it fly, and it'll pretty much clean itself. These lift out. You can see they
Those
just
are like
lift,
the old ones.
and then this tells you that's the top, and you can see where it lifts out on there, so that if you want to get all the way back in there, everything in there is all steam tight, so you can spray it all with water. You could spray degreaser on it and all of that kind of
We
thing.
do like a major grub, the beginning of the school year, the end of the school year, right before break, and then right when the restaurant's gonna open and close. So
Then
that
you
would be.
take
blended
everything out.
But the daily could be that simple,
Just
15-minute.
So you got an open for there. This does lift off
Okay.
if you wanted to take it off to clean it. As for
Yeah, I'm fine with them moving it out, but
Yeah.
if we're gonna
and
lift
this,
it off, it's. gonna
this
be
will
easier.
lift out.
Like a drip pan?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
just like that.
That's easy.
So you can just take that out. I don't know where this goes.
Add it to our collection.
Add it to the collection so that you can clean both sides. My only word of caution there is don't use an like anti-fog Windex. Some of those that are meant for bathroom mirrors and such,
I don't know what ours is.
because anti-fogs leave kind of a film, and that keeps it from fogging up in your bathroom. But some of those will burn
I
onto it.
think it would be
And
better just use some vinegar or water.
I love vinegar because it's food safe.
Yeah.
And we already ordered the spray bottle, so we
Yeah,
just have a
just
couple
do
of
vinegar or
those.
Yeah,
water.
vinegar is a
Yeah.
great cleaner of glass, and it's food safe. If it's still
know.
there when they cook on it, you're not
Rather
going to
do
be in
that
trouble.
than anything else.
Yeah. And it's good for, like say, daily cleaning, but if you get it really dirty, then you can use that. You've got manuals and all this, I'm assuming, somewhere.
I have not seen a manual for this one yet.
Okay.
We'll have O&Ms turned into propane to fill.
Okay.
And as with any time I'm recorded, the manual is the final word. I'm here for auxiliary information. But yes, always refer to the manual
Can
for.
we see the gas line that you were talking about? Because we don't have the kids.
That's yours.
What?
The gas line.
What
Is
about
it
back there.
the yellow one there?
Yep.
Number
And
3.
The red
Number 3.
switch? Okay.
Yep.
So those are like our old ones, so that's
Yep.
easy.
So the individual
Yeah.
shops.
So that's that.
We just don't know where all that meaning is.
And I'm assuming there's a water filter on this somewhere.
On that? I don't believe, I don't know, I haven't looked at the drawings.
Ah.
I assume if they designed it, it's probably inside one of these cabinets.
It's probably a water filter. Vulcan also does a very nice thing, and they have this nice cutout here so that your pan hangs over so that you're not trying to grab the rack at the same time as the pan. Clear as mud. Understand everything?
Not bad.
No, it's a pretty simple one, but it also like forces you to pay attention because unlike, you know, the microwave assisted and the radio wave assisted ovens that are the newest things coming out, this just works on time, temperature, and humidity.
The one
And-
in the old lunchroom, it took you longer to figure out how to change it to what you needed because and you couldn't adjust.
Yeah,
Then it took you
this
to
is
below the bread.
total adjustment, so I could hit it with a lot of steam in the beginning to help crisp that bread and that type of thing, and you can do that. The other big thing that you'll pay attention to is that this fan reverses direction every other minute. So don't open the door and turn pans around and put them back in, because you will probably defeat the purpose of the auto reversing fan. And it's been proven time and time again that you lose so much temperature in turning pans around that you're really not giving yourself much of an advantage by doing it. So I would not just let it run and let it do its thing, and it will kick on. And now we're going to kick on the burners.
So then once you're done, just power it off and just leave the door open so it can dry out
Yep.
at the end of the day.
That's what I do.
Is it the best to probably dry it out, power dry every
We
day?
have that teeny tiny little squeegee that would go in there
And
to
squeeze
squeegee
it
it.
to the
You
bottom.
you can, but if it's been on and running and is it fairly warm,
I just didn't know if it would
it's just
build
going
up
to
that.
dry itself.
If it would build up with that.
Because on a normal day, the last 45 minutes allowed is clean up after
Yeah.
the restaurant's
So
closed.
water's hard.
So yeah, let them wipe it out.
Because that water's
Just
hard. It
soft,
won't build.
soft cloth and wipe it all out. You're off and running. Do you have questions?
Nope.
The other thing is, it's a good habit not to teach students. Don't stack a whole stack of stuff on top of an oven.
That's what their stations are for.
That's right. It's kind of like sitting on a prep table. Don't do that. Just don't do that.